Rogers TV Durham would like to acknowledge that we are on the treaty and traditional territory of the Mississaugas of Scugog Island First Nation of the Mississauga Nation. May we respectfully honor the knowledge and understanding of the Indigenous stewards of these ancestral lands and ensure that the voices of the First Peoples are represented in our collections, programs, and services.
This program is brought to you by Ignite TV. Now you're in command. Visit Rogers.com for more details.
The opinions expressed in the following programs are those of the participants and do not necessarily reflect those of Rogers Cable or Rogers TV.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Talk Politics. I'm Debra Hutchison. Our guest this week is Uxbridge Mayor Dave Barton, and we are taping here at our Utica studio. So good to see you.
Great to see you live as well. Like we've done a whole bunch at my dining room table, some in my office, but we're together at last. This is great.
I know.
I know what our last one was in Ottawa. I was there for the Samstag breakfast.
Yes, you were.
Yeah. So again, great to be in Utica.
Yeah.
I showed my passport to get over to Scugog. We're all good.
You're good. Okay. We've got a lot to talk about. I want to start with the urban provincial park, and there are plans afoot for an urban provincial park here in Uxbridge. There's been a lot of community consultation. Where are we at in the process, and what are you hearing from residents?
So, first, let's talk about what an urban provincial park is and kind of how we got there. Is that okay?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so a long time ago, there was a land exchange between the Tannenbaum family and the province for lands in Seaton and lands in Uxbridge. And that was back when the Greenbelt came together, and they had a large, about 1,350 acres of land in Uxbridge, and that's been in the province hands for quite some time with no trespassing signs in front of it. So we want people on beautiful lands, and we want to make sure that we can share our wilderness with others. And we've had some incredible people help us with this. So one guy's John McCutcheon, and about 5 years ago, John McCutcheon came to me and said, Dave, I want to get these lands in the public's hands again. I have my 80-acre Uxbridge home that I've lived with my family for many, many, many years, and I'm going to put that up to see if we can leverage that against the 1,300 acres that the province owns. So he donated his lands to Uxbridge if we could find a way to get these lands put into public use.
And you did it.
And with lots of help, we have the hardest working MPP, who's also the Minister of Finance, helping us. Peter Bethenfalvey helped us in a huge way. We worked with Minister David Piccini when he was Minister of Environment, now working with Minister Andrea Kanjan to make this all a reality. So we heard back in April that this was happening. We announced it then, and then we've been working through the process. And it's government and it's planning, so it's going to take some time. But they've announced that their intent is to make it a provincial park. We're going through all the public consultation kind of right now, and by the time this airs, it'll be that will be over. Right. But then we're hoping by maybe next summer, this will be a provincial park, and then it will be all the public consultation on exactly what urban provincial park in Uxbridge means and what we do in it.
Well, what does it mean to you? What would you like to see?
So what all of our trails and parklands means to me is they're an extension of our community. So you'll go for a walk with your dog or your kid or your spouse, and you often will start on your street and you'll end up on a trail. This is not your typical provincial park with a gate and a park ranger with a hat. This is one that is interwoven between houses and businesses and farms and places of worship. And that's what we're going to see. So these lands aren't one big chunk. It's a number of different chunks intermixed around Uxbridge lands, Durham Region lands, and TRCA lands. And we're going to mix them all together.
So what have you been hearing from residents? What are they saying to you about it?
They're saying that a number of things. A lot of people are concerned about what impact it will have on their property. Mm-hmm. And the way that we sent this public consultation out, it was, we are studying, we are looking at a provincial park in this area, and we're looking at all the lands in this blob. And it was a huge blob of land. It had probably 500 homes, Walmart.
Yes.
A whole bunch of farms.
I've taken the trail
a lot,
behind Walmart.
So it was a really big tract, and people wanted to know, if my house is in the blob, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And so we sort of explained that to them. And now it's a bunch of people who are like, oh, could we do this? What if we did cross-country ski trails? What could this mean for hiking? So now it's kind of piquing their interest, and it's becoming more and more real.
And wouldn't it be nice just to leave your front door and end up on a trail where you could go cross-country skiing in the winter?
So I can, right? And I do all the time.
Yeah.
So I step out my door, I walk about 400 meters on the road, and I'm on trails. And most people in Uxbridge, you pick a house in Uxbridge, you're probably within 400 meters of a trail, almost anywhere you live.
Because it is the trail capital of Canada.
It's the trail capital of Canada. And listen, when I became mayor, there'd been a ton of great work to make sure that the trail systems kind of weave their way through town. And it's working, and now 1,333 additional acres of land that used to have no trespassing signs on it that now will be open to the public.
And hopefully by next year, by next summer, you say?
Well, hopefully it'll be officially a park by then from a planning perspective. Mm-hmm. These things take a long time, and there's a lot of infrastructure that needs to go in.
And as you said, a lot of work with our other levels of government. I don't think a lot of people realize how much consultation and how much work goes together with, our MPP and yourself.
Yeah. Well, and again, there's a lot of interest. So certainly, I speak to MPP Beth and Falvey all the time. We probably talk 3 times a week, and our offices talk as well to try and make things happen. Mm-hmm. We are an extension of their government. So any power that we have in Uxbridge, it's because those have been granted to us by the province. So we work really closely with ministers. And this park is on Peter's top 5 as well. Mm-hmm. So he and I, luckily, we shared the top projects for Uxbridge, which is new hospital, long-term care, and provincial park.
Okay. So let's talk about new hospital and long-term care.
Yep.
Where are we at with the plans for?
So we are, let's separate hospital and long-term care for a second. From a hospital perspective, we are in the design phase. So there are architects designing today the new hospital for Uxbridge, working very closely with Oak Valley Health. Elena Pachenko is the COO there, and again, we talk a lot to make this happen. And it's what it will look like, what it will feel like, how it will operate. They're getting into, talking to the staff that work there now on ways to make this as good as it could possibly be for Uxbridge. So that's happening.
And long-term care?
Long-term care, we are working with Rivera, have the license, and we're also working with them to try and get this as one build all at once. Now there's some complexities around long-term care with funding models and stuff. So we're just trying to overcome a couple of obstacles on that.
Okay. We've only got about 5 minutes left in this segment. Let's start to talk about your downtown revitalization. There is so much going on.
Yeah.
In addition to that, I also want to touch on the plans for the Trinity United Church site. Maybe let's start with that, the Trinity United Church site.
And I like where you're going, except
you're going to change it.
I'm going to change it. I always go back to the beginning. It's just how I roll. But
okay.
There's a lot of groundwork that's been done.
Right.
I campaigned when I first went for mayor, I campaigned on more people living and working in downtown Uxbridge, and to have buildings that complement the old. We're not going to build them to be old, but we want to make sure that it doesn't detract from our kind of heritage downtown.
Right.
So we went through a ton of work on, we struck a committee, we got rural economic development grants from the province, and organized what we wanted to be in Uxbridge when we grew up. And you and I have spoken a number of times about that. And that project is mostly complete. And in the end, we figured out that sort of my ideas were supported by the town. And again, I tried to keep my input out. But in the end, people were looking for density. They were looking for ways to live in downtown Uxbridge. And they're looking for more businesses. And when we put all that together, we found out what types of businesses we need in downtown Uxbridge. We found out what kind of density people are willing to accept. And we have a plan that's phenomenal. So if you jump on your laptop or your phone and Google My Downtown Uxbridge, you can see all the plans right there.
And a great video that's available.
Yeah.
I love this video.
Me too.
We're going to show you this video as well.
Yeah, so the video's phenomenal because it shows what we look like right now.
Yeah.
And then it doesn't show exactly, the plans are not exactly what is going to be built or exactly what we want, but it will let anyone who owns property in that area what we're willing to look at and sort of the direction we're trying to go. Mm-hmm. So and we had 1,400 people give us advice on it. We have a committee of, I think, 14 people that also worked really hard to bring us advice, a lot of staff time to come up with this plan. And in the end, this video shows us what I believe we want to be when we grow up. And those 1,400 people's comments went into it.
And without losing that small town charm and feel.
And that's
just so rare.
And
it really is.
And that's certainly the goal. Now, some people would say, to me, Uxbridge will never have more than a 3-story building.
Right.
But in order to get the things that you want, like cars off the streets and not big areas for parking, you need to put in underground. And to pay for underground parking, you need certain density levels.
Right.
Just because you can't build an underground parking garage under a 3-story building. It's just the numbers don't work.
Right.
So that's why we've been a little flexible on things like density to make sure we get underground parking, to make the downtown more walkable, to encourage more patio space, etc. Because we need to remember cars don't shop. People do.
Shop.
And we want people to be able to step out their door, walk a very short distance to their favorite coffee shop or their favorite bookstore or whatever. And that's a walkable downtown is a downtown that we all want to visit.
Right. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. We are in conversation with Uxbridge Mayor Dave Barton. Don't go away.
TSC has exciting offers every day on gifts for everyone. A new Today's Showstopper. Oh yes, big hug for Mom of the Year. Holiday pricing on top brands. Hubby, check. Dad, check. Sweet treats and gift sets my cousin will love. And for Mom, a magical Lavera necklace with interest-free Easy Pay. Holiday shopping done. Light up your holidays with exciting offers every day at tsc.ca.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's your boy, Karim Grant. I'm the host of The Players Corner. Season 2 is coming right at you. Make sure you stay tuned. We have a lot of exciting guests right here on Rogers Durham TV. Make sure you're there.
October 5th, 2014, my daughter was hit by a train. She was walking along the sides of the tracks, and it shattered her world.
You're watching Rogers TV.
And we are back here in Utica in conversation this week on Talk Politics with Uxbridge Mayor Dave Barton. So we were talking about downtown revitalization before we went to break. I also want to ask you about the plans for the old Trinity United Church, which was, alas, damaged beyond repair.
Yeah. So again, really, really sad situation that we've lost that church. Meant a lot to me and my family and the entire community. But new life is going to spring up from it, and housing will spring up from it. So we met with the team from Kindred Works really early on, and they came to us with what they thought Uxbridge would want. They hadn't looked at our downtown revitalization plan yet, but they came to us with not a ton of density, surface parking, not really a look and feel that we were interested in. And luckily I was in the meeting and staff were, and we gave them a really clear message that, look at our downtown revitalization plans, look at the heritage aspect of our downtown,
Right.
and we're not afraid of density. And what they came back with was look and feel that kind of brought aspects of the old church into their design. They came in with, I think it's 94 underground parking spots. They came up with twin 6-story buildings that look and feel like they could be in Uxbridge, could have been in Uxbridge, 40, 50 years ago, which all kind of works. So that's, and then the other great thing about it, Kindred Works is sort of the housing charity arm of the United Church of Canada.
Right.
And the goal is to provide rental housing that has a large percentage that's affordable. So 33% is their goal of affordability. So 33% of the units will be affordable. And to get a purpose-built rental place put in downtown Uxbridge right now,
By anyone else.
by
or even-
anyone, just
yeah.
doesn't happen. So,
No.
so to me, it checks off all the boxes. Gets 105 more families living downtown, where it's quicker to walk into our downtown to shop than it is to drive. It gets more soccer coaches, more people that will be involved in the community, more people going to downtown theater. But it means that people like my parents and young people like my daughter or others at some point will be able to rent a place in downtown Uxbridge. And we've had no new rental housing stock for, I don't know, 20, 30 years. It's been a long time. So this is all very, very good news for Uxbridge.
And as far as the timeline goes, what are we looking at?
I think it's going to be quick. They build, Kindred Works builds some pretty big stuff. They have a gap in their schedule, and we're hoping that they'll get this thing certainly started in 2024.
Wow, that fast.
That fast, which would be phenomenal. And what we try to do in Uxbridge is be really easy to do business with. If we're going to say yes, we're going to say yes quickly. We're going to remove as many obstacles as we can quickly. If we're going to say no, we want to tell you right away. You know what? That we're not interested in that. That doesn't work for us. Come back with something that we like better.
Which is what you did.
Which is what, and it worked. And again, without all the groundwork that we talked about before about the downtown revitalization project, we could actually point to, look at this data. This is all the proof that we're right. And if you follow it, we're gonna say yes. Because they were allowed to go to 4 stories. We granted them 2 more because of affordability, because of underground parking, and because architectural look and feel.
So it just all came together.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to your road signs, which apparently have become incredibly popular. You're having an issue, Mayor Dave, with stolen road signs. What is so special about the Uxbridge road sign that people are stealing it? How many road signs have you lost? Like thousands of dollars.
Yeah, so I think the number is we lost about 50 signs in a very short period of time.
Holy cow.
Which is a lot.
Are they being sold on the market?
So I think it's probably not that many people, but somebody thought it would be a good idea to steal road signs, and we lost a bunch. And then our director of public works gets a little frustrated at times, and he decided he wanted to put an end to it. So I think it was a $5,000 reward to an arrest of someone who had stolen a road sign.
Yeah.
And magically, a whole lot of them came back.
Get out.
Yeah, so people would come to the council, like to our municipal building, and there'd be 20 road signs sitting in the front walkway.
No.
And then we found them at the park yard and the work yard.
Now, but
so a whole bunch came back.
Had the town already spent money to replace the ones that were stolen?
Yes, but I think.
So now you have extra.
And so we have more for.
Spares.
And lots of them are like if it's a speed sign or a stop sign or whatever.
Yeah.
So we're really glad to have a bunch back. It was frustrating when we were losing them, and it's also a huge safety hazard.
Yeah.
Like stop signs, obviously. You steal a stop sign. Like it's it can be a fatal error.
Yeah.
So the message to anyone who was taking this type of thing or thinks that it might be a fun idea in the future.
It's not.
It's not. It can affect people's lives if it's a warning sign from a traffic perspective. Someone dies, there's some significant risk for both you, the person who stole it, but also for us as a municipality.
Yeah.
If it's a road sign and people can't find an address, and it's someone, if it's a paramedic or something, that's a big problem. So just, guys, the road signs are up for a reason. Please don't take any more. And for the people that return them, we appreciate it.
Yes, definitely. Okay, we've only got about 7 minutes left. Winter road restrictions. I mean, we're taping this November 30th, but you've got a little dusting of snow already up here, and more is not far behind. What do you want people to remember? Yeah,
we want people not to park on the roads overnight. What happens is, if it starts snowing right now, our teams will eventually go home, go to bed, and then they'll be back out at 3 o'clock in the morning. So they're driving in the middle of the night. Every time there's a vehicle in the way, it slows them down. It means we're less efficient, and it means that your car might also get damaged by a plow. So keep your vehicles off the roads in the winter, just like every other winter. We don't want to write parking tickets, but we will, and you don't want to get one. So just help us help you.
Right. Let's talk about proposed hotel at Wooden Sticks Golf Course.
Another great one. We've wanted a hotel for a long time. From a tourism perspective, when people spend the night, their tourism spend in the municipality goes up by like 4x. So luckily, our friend Greg Seaman at Wooden Sticks has decided this also fits into his and his partner's business plans, and they've put in a proposal for a new hotel. It's been approved from a municipal perspective in Uxbridge. It was on our agenda at the region yesterday, and it's ready to go. So we're just now working on site plan and what the look and feel is going to be and how it's going to fit into Uxbridge. But great news, and we're open for business in Uxbridge, and we will Greg will find great partners here.
So how high a hotel? Like how many stories?
So I think it's 5 on the Wooden Sticks property, and it's right next to the clubhouse. And it's going to have some balconies, and again,
nice.
So they have some cabins there that are always full. So the play and stay cabin idea that they've been doing for a long time.
Right. So they know that a hotel would work.
Yeah. So they've kind of dipped their foot in this pool.
Yeah.
And we don't have a hotel in Uxbridge.
No, you don't.
We don't.
No.
So obviously, in yesteryear we had a few. We need one. It's time, whether it's for a wedding or one of our many business people. We need some accommodations here, and especially it's going to be even more successful because all the planning happened before there's a provincial park. Now when you get an incredible playground right in the GTA, this is going to be another huge win, whether you're a golfer, a mountain biker, a hiker, a skier, or you just want to witness what a small town's like in the winter. You can come and check us out.
Right. I also want to talk to you about the firefighter memorial that you have planned. A big chunk of change from the federal government is helping this project along.
Yeah, our MP Jennifer Connell stepped up in a huge way and helped us with the grant there. Our firefighters have been fundraising for this for a few years, and it is now going to be a reality because of the help of Jennifer. So just so you know what this is, it's dedicated to the firefighters that we've lost before, and it's been created by Tyler Briley. I don't know if you know Tyler or not.
I don't.
Tyler lives over here in Scugog. He is a retired firefighter and struggled with PTSD. He built the Sam Sharp sculpture that's in Center Block.
Right.
And he's done a number of other works, but just a great individual who really cares about the project, and his work is phenomenal. Actually, Aaron O'Toole just donated a piece of art of Tyler's to our library a couple weeks ago around Remembrance. So it was a painting of Sam Sharp. So
where is this memorial? Where will it be located?
It'll be right in front of the fire station. So every time you go by in Brock, you'll see it. And again, there'll be some more fundraising happening, but we're within sight of our goal here. So it's we're near the end of this, and it'll hoping to get this thing built sometime in 24.
Okay. Of course, we can't meet without talking dollars, cents, budget, 2024 budget. Your concerns?
Well, again, inflation has been significant. Infrastructure's, you're never ahead on infrastructure. It's going to be a tough budget year. We try to convert significant chunks of gravel roads to hard surface. We're going to continue on with that plan. But we have 2 bridges on Uxbridge, East Gwillimbury Town Line. It's a section of road that's owned by East Gwillimbury, and but we have to share the cost 50-50. So we have 2 bridges to do that are going to be very, very expensive. So,
but if it's on their property, why do you have to share the cost?
Well, because it's on a shared property. They own the design and the winter control and stuff of that. But part of the agreement is heavy infrastructure works. We have to share 50-50. So we will have 2 very expensive bridges that don't get driven on very much, but we have to do. And so instead of paving 10 kilometers of road, we're going to do 112 feet of bridges. And it's really painful to kind of spend that kind of money on a back road that doesn't get used a lot. But we looked at options of not doing it, and unfortunately that we have to step up. They're closed right now, and it's been a real big disruption for school buses and garbage pickup, and we've got people driving 5 kilometers or more out of their way every time they go
just because
anywhere.
the bridge isn't open.
Yep.
Is there something in this budget you foresee not being, something else that you foresee not being able to do, just because it's a tough balance?
So we're early enough in the budget process that we don't know how bad it is yet.
Okay.
So what we do is we go around to every department and figure out what absolutely has to be done, and then we figure out what we really want to also get done. And we haven't gotten to the stage to know what the number is of the absolutely has to get done part, if that makes sense. And part of that is that bridges. So I'm a hardcore infrastructure guy. It's going to be hard not to do the type of road work that I want to do this year, because we're spending so much on a couple bridges.
Okay. And guess what? We are out of time. Gosh, that's gone fast.
Yeah.
We're going to have to do this again.
I'll come back anytime you want me.
Oh, awesome. There you have it,
Thanks,
everybody. Our guest this week has been Uxbridge Mayor Dave Barton. Thanks to Mayor Barton, and thanks to you for joining us. Until next time, I'm Debra Hutchison. Bye for now.
Connect with us by visiting our website or email us at comments@rogerstv.com.
It's so convenient to grab a carton of milk. It took over 60 years to get to this point. It sounds odd, but if you didn't have a cow in the early 1900s, you'd rely on a family farm. The Weary family farm was one of the contributors to the production and distribution of our favorite cookie companion via scoop and pail or by bottle. Then, in the 1930s, with the demand for pasteurized milk, the Weary family partnered with 10 local farmers, raising the funds required for pasteurization technology. Ideal Dairy, the building still standing, became one of the fastest growing dairy distributors and eventually the largest and only dairy in Oshawa. In time, it was sold to Beatrice, a brand we still fill our glasses with today.
I'm Wendell Clark with a word about winning. We all know it takes a team effort in any sport and with any challenge. You can be a part of the winning team that shuts out impaired driving. Whether you're out on the town or just hanging out with friends, drink responsibly.